Well, good afternoon and welcome to this special Island Stats Sports Talk. It's Bermuda Football Association referee corner here on islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Beast, and joining me is Bermuda's newest FIFA referee, not assistant, but referee. First of all, congratulations, Omari. Welcome. It's been a journey for you, hasn't it?
Yep, definitely has.
Yeah, take us through that start of that journey. How you would have gotten started as an official. First, you were running the line, and obviously you upgraded to being a referee in the middle, and now on the FIFA list. But take us through how this journey got started.
So it got started 2015, where I was invited to the FIFA RAP course, which is just the referee assistant program, where FIFA sends instructors, fitness and technical instructors to FAs or MAs, member associations. And that's basically to help go over law changes, work on techniques on the field. And so I went there at age 15 alongside my friend, one of my best friends. And we completed the course, and after that, Mr. Williams shoved us into youth games. And after doing youth games, I want to say 2 years later, I turned 17, and Mr. Williams put me on my first division game. And then from there, it just went first division as an assistant referee. Was my first division game, and then started doing good, learning the techniques, learning what it's like being an assistant referee at a higher level, basically, and started doing premiership games, and ultimately went to a tournament in Dallas as an assistant referee, myself and Stephen Mabry.
Right.
And we went there doing games, and after one of my games, I was approached by a gentleman named Peter Pendergrass, and he told me that I shouldn't be an assistant referee, that I should be a referee. And at the time, I didn't know how to take it. So I didn't know if I should take it personally or if it's a compliment, because I knew nothing about being a center referee. I only knew an assistant referee at that time. So, but I didn't take it personally. Luckily, I came back from Bermuda, told Mr. Williams about that encounter, and like shortly after that, I started doing middles. And I believe my first middle was Town versus PHC at Devonshire Rack.
Right.
And from then on, that was, I want to say 3 years ago. From then on, took that little seat and said, maybe I can be a referee, and started putting my mind to it and doing more games. Recently, this year, I was accepted onto the CONCACAF Referee Academy.
Yeah.
And being on there, we did a seminar in Mexico, Toluca, Mexico, and met other referees in the Referee Academy, and also Tier 1 referees that I look up to have met also, and others that I've seen on TV. They shared their experiences with me, basically telling me that, I'm on the right path, and so on and so forth. Encouraging words. And this summer, I had the opportunity to go to 2 tournaments, CONCACAF Under-15 girls in Costa Rica, and CFU Under-14 boys in Trinidad and Tobago. And those were really good experiences. So that's pretty much where I am right now. And recently being accepted onto the list, that's the journey.
That's a short version of the journey, but it's not been a short ride. It's been some time. And let's talk about the fact that obviously when you started, you were young, and you have to wait to a certain age to become a FIFA official. Waiting out the time, and because we all know Bermudians are impatient. They want things. They want things yesterday. So biding your time. How did you manage that? That period.
Um, Definitely say it was definitely a trust the process and trust God situation,
Mm-hmm.
because I like you said, we aren't patient. So hearing that, okay, I could have all these opportunities, but I needed to wait. I had the ability, had the skills, but because of my age, I wasn't eligible.
Right.
Wasn't really the best thing to hear, because I'm like, if I could do it now, if I could do it at a younger age, what's the hold up? But
Right.
those are things out of my hands and out of even Mr. Williams'
Yeah.
hands. And yeah, BFA, that's a FIFA and above. But yeah, I definitely just trusted the process and stayed stuck in. It definitely, there's highs and lows, because some days I feel good about training and my workouts, my routines. Other days I feel like I didn't do enough, and so on and so forth. But I think keeping your eyes on the goals, like the end goals, is like the biggest thing that I had to tell myself every single day. Like, if I really want this, I stay working towards it every single day. And
Yeah. I see. There's congratulations, well done, from Mr. Norbert Simons. I remember. I don't know if you remember, but I remember a conversation at the stadium, and you were training one day. He was encouraging you to join the quarter mile track
yeah,
because of your form. He said, you would be an outstanding quarter miler. You remember that conversation?
yep, definitely.
Any was during your time, were there any thoughts of probably doing something else? Obviously, when we go through things and we have either injuries or doubts about what we're doing, we think about possibly doing something else. Did you ever have that period, or have you had that period as of yet?
I had kind of sort of. I had like thoughts of playing basketball for. I used to play for the youth national squad,
Uh-huh.
and I had been getting asked to play for the men's national team. I had
Right.
thoughts about it, but I just never really got around to going to training and fully committing to that idea. Luckily, I didn't. But maybe in the future, something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, Mr. Williams has been championing a call for people to come on board and the opportunity to see the world as an official.
Mhm.
When did you finally buy into that?
I want to say the first trip that he had sent Bermudian officials to, which was the
Mm,
Dallas Cup in
yeah.
Texas, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a really good experience. Being that we were sent from Bermuda, we wasn't a part of the American Football Association or CONCACAF. We
Right.
had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, basically.
Right. Right.
And because here we're it's localized to just, oh, you're a referee, you're assistant referee. Out there at a tournament setting, they wanted like all around referees. So
Yes.
referees that could run the line, referees that
Yeah.
could be in the middle, referees that could be fourth officials. So I think that really opened up my eyes to the experiences of the world, because I saw teams play that I heard about, but never
Hmm.
really knew much of, never really knew who the, like, yeah, just never really seeing them in person.
Right. Right. Now, a lot of people will probably think, oh, he gets to go to all these elegant places around the world to officiate. You don't really get to see the country, do you? Because you get in, it's about the match. After the match, you get out, kind of thing. But it's rewarding because you're kind of meeting a whole new bunch of people and they're getting to know who you are. Would you say that?
Yep, definitely. I could definitely attest to that, because my first Nations League appointment just this November, I got to travel to Suriname, which
Hmm.
never had been before,
Right.
and it's a really beautiful country. And my officiating team, they were from Mexico, so there were top officials in the Mexican League. They're
Right.
pro referees. So meeting them, talking to them about their experiences, and talking to them about mine, we got to like just basically get to know each other. But it was only for 3 days. I think we made a really good connection with the language
Right.
barrier that we had to work through. But
Yes.
yeah, friends forever for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because obviously in our region we have the Spanish-speaking officials as well. Most of the people that officiate in the middle speak both languages, but working those language barriers out, how have you been able to maneuver through that?
Um, I would say it's definitely difficult, especially when, for me, I took Spanish when I was in high school. I don't know it fluently, but
Hmm.
when they start to speak really, really fast, I
Yeah,
can't really pick up on much of the words. So I have to keep asking them if they can repeat it. Like
right,
I try not to have them like stop speaking in Spanish because it'll be easier for me to learn. Well, yeah, it'll be easier for me to learn the Spanish that way.
right.
And even when they want to learn English, they tell me just speak in English so that they can better grasp it. So
Mm.
it's a good partnership because yeah, it helps both parties.
Yeah. Now, obviously, this is something since 2015, a dream come true, because I spoke to Mr. Williams, and obviously, it was very emotional for him when he got the email and the phone call that you will be on the list for 2025.
Mhm.
When you heard that news, tell me how you would have reacted to hearing that.
Mr. Williams had called me just after work. I had been just finished a shift on the ambulance in town and
Mhm.
really exhausted. So
Right,
I wasn't really sure what Mr. Williams. I was on my way home. I was riding home too. I wasn't really sure what Mr. Williams was calling me for,
right,
and I um I was debating on whether or not I should stop because I got the notification on my watch to stop and answer him or wait till I
right.
get home to call him back. But I just decided to stop, answer the phone,
Uh-huh.
and he broke the news to me. And at first, I not to say that I didn't believe him, but I was yeah.
Right.
And yeah, he he was telling me yeah he he was telling me that he is brought to tears and
Right.
the I don't want to admit this, but I was almost too.
We're emotional people, man. You can admit that you was it's been a hard journey, but it's been something that Mr. Williams has been tasked with by the association to get a team. We now have you as a referee. We have Stefan and Clinton and Natasha.
Yep.
So there's a possibility that a Bermuda outfit will be doing either Nations League or a Caribbean Cup game together. But ultimately, we know in 2 years' time that there's a World Cup in our region. Um, do you now visualize yourself somehow being involved in that?
Well, the World Cup for next year, like the men's World Cup,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure the officials have already been like earmarked and they're already
Right,
working with them. I have my eyes set on 2030, where I have more experience under my belt,
right,
been on the list for a couple of years, and yeah, just work my way towards that goal.
right.
That's what my goal is right
Well,
now.
there's another avenue as well, and I think it will fit right in because we have the 2028 Olympic Games,
Mhm.
and football is big in the Olympics. We saw that in France, and there's an opportunity that possibly you can be called up for that. Now, does that? I mean, going to the Olympics as an athlete is something of a dream come true for any athlete because that's a pinnacle.
Yep.
But as an official, obviously the World Cup will be looked at a little bigger. But going to the Olympics, can you imagine going to the Olympics to represent Bermuda as an official for the football section?
Yeah, now that you say it, yes, I definitely, it slipped my mind about the Olympics completely. But yeah, now
Yeah,
that you say it, yes, definitely.
yeah. So next year will be possibly one of your biggest years internationally because it'll be your first year, and you're gonna have to emulate all the things you've done to get there. They always say it's harder to stay on. It's one thing getting on, but it's harder to stay on. So, what advice will you have taken from the people that you've met previously on your way to becoming a FIFA official that would help you along the way to stay on as as a FIFA official?
The biggest thing is to stay stuck in, stay revising over the laws, stay training, always be ready because you could get a call any day to do a game anywhere in the world, well, anywhere in our region.
Hmm.
So that's the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah. Do you now? Obviously, you watch a lot of football now. Are you watching? Are you watching more referees, or are you watching the game more when you have the opportunity to watch a game?
Definitely a bit of both. Definitely try to see the referee's position and their own style of refereeing for sure.
Hmm.
But that doesn't take away from. I try not to, so it doesn't take away from enjoying the actual game itself.
Right, right. Now, obviously, yeah, young man, you work around a lot of people who are involved in football. How many times do you get in conversations and they're asking you, well, why did you make this call, or what would you make? What would call would you make in this instance, and so forth? So, what's that talk like?
It's definitely it's really common, but it's definitely not a classroom setting. Like I tell them give them the law, and then they tell me their interpretation, and I tell them mine's based on the
Right,
law. And yeah, try to basically show them my training or like what I've learned along the way, what the
right.
referee would see in the exact moment that a foul were to happen. Let's say something like that.
Right, right. One thing I've always noticed, and well, one of the things of my evaluation of refereeing, because even when I was playing younger, I used to officiate back in the day to help games get played, especially Eastern Soccer League or even the Masters League. But I used to tell people all the time, I'm on the same level as the players. When I say the same level, we all are on the field. Some of you spectators are elevated, so you get to see the field a little different. Do you
Hmm.
think there's a little unjust when it comes to this second guessing the decision that a referee has made?
Um, well, there's always going to be a different angle of view, and no referee is going to be they're going to be in the best spot to see,
Uh
but
huh.
no position's perfect because you could say, oh, you can see this from the right side, but if you go
Yes.
to the left, you can see slightly different thing. So
Hmm.
it's basically you putting yourself in the position to see the best position to see what's going on at that point in time,
Right.
and
Right.
being able to adapt whether things change, like the player moves left, moves right, or anything in that case.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been 20 years since we had a referee on the FIFA list, and I know Mr. Williams wants to close that gap. Um, how can you plan, or how can you help to ensure that it's not another 20 years that we have, by encouraging others? How can you help
Mhm.
encourage?
Well, I can't say is this that we have a good group of youth officials that are coming up along the ranks, and I believe they're really strong for youth referees. As they mature and do games, they'll get more experience and become even more confident and do good. Hopefully, they stick with us. I think we have a good group, so I think they will. I think they enjoy it, and them coming to training, like we have youth training on Sundays, and if we don't have foreign officials that head it, it's our local body that heads it. So we show up on Sundays, encourage our youth referees, show them different drills and um, different drills that relate to the game that they can work on in their games and in their own personal training. So I think that's the main thing, encouraging our youth referees to see the vision, see the path that I've taken and that others have taken in the past, and that it's not some faraway dream it's not some faraway dream. It's likely to happen, and it's likely to happen if you work hard for it.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the foreign referees that we've seen on island. What's some of the things you've picked up from them as far as coming to Bermuda to help, assist us in making sure that our games are being able to be played?
The main thing I would say is personality. That's a big key thing that I'm in the process of learning, and I would say the majority of the referees that come here, big personality, and they tell me all the time that my game's good. It's just I need to work on my personality. So, been listening, been taking notes, and applying it to my game.
Yeah. Well, Amari, I want to say congratulations again. Job well done. But it's only you're at the start line now, a new start line. And we look forward to seeing you progress. Before we go, that Canadian experience, what was that like for you just a few months ago?
Yes, in October. It was really good. Getting to work with the CAS, the Canadian Soccer Association, and their body of officials and instructors was really good because we had our games were mic'd up and our games were recorded.
Yeah.
So after we'd have our debrief, we'd go over like stuff from small things to very big things, like saying shorter words, getting the message across as quickly as possible, and stop jamming up the communication lines. To just like good positioning on the field, to see calls, stuff like that, and overall the networking, it was really good. Like I can't stress it enough. It was amazing, and Vancouver's a really really beautiful place as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you grow in this new role, and continue to make Bermuda proud on the international stage. Obviously, hopefully, the people of Bermuda understand, what you'll be going through, and there's former referees, and I know most of them have encouraged you, especially the ones that were on the FIFA list before, encourage you to stay strong, and we look forward to the award night when you are officially presented that badge, and it's pinned onto your jacket. So again, congratulations, and we'll stay in touch with you to see how things are progressing.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Okay.